Welcome to Faith in Focus, The Way to the Mountaintop, inspired by the Book of Mysteries by Jonathan Cahn. It was almost sundown. We were standing at the bottom of a high mountain, but its ascent was very gradual, as the mountain was spread out over a vast area and connected to other mountains, part of a chain. At its base were the beginnings of several mountain paths, each diverging from the others. At the top of this mountain, said the teacher, is a flat, white, circular stone. Find it. When you get there, you'll be standing on the summit. Find that stone, and then return to me. But which of the paths do I take? I asked. That's the challenge, he said. I'll be waiting here until you return. So I chose one of the many paths and began following it. It wasn't long before the sky grew dark, and it became apparent that I was on the wrong path. I chose another and another until finally I realized I was heading downward. At that point I began shouting in the dark for the teacher. He shouted back. Following his voice, I made my way back to him at the base. So, said the teacher, I imagine you didn't get there. How could I have? I replied. I didn't know which path to take. You didn't have to, he said. You didn't have to know anything, except one thing. You were too focused on which path to take, but that wasn't the key. Remember when I shared with you about the Hebrew word aliyah? Had you applied that here, you would have succeeded. The key was the direction up. The white stone was at the pinnacle. All you had to do was to choose the higher path continuously. And if the path stopped ascending, then you choose the higher ground. And it would make no difference where you started from or on which side of the mountain. If you just followed this simple law, it would have led to the exact place at the pinnacle. Do not forget this. It's one of the most important secrets in your walk with God. The pinnacle of the mountain represents God's calling on your life, His specific will and exact purpose and plan for your life. How do you get there? You don't have to know where it is. All you have to do is continually ascend, continually choose the higher path, the higher ground, the higher footstep, and no matter where you departed from and no matter where you are now, you will end up in the exact, specific, appointed, and perfect will of God, at the summit, the pinnacle of God's purposes for your life. The mission. Today, focus only on one course, one path, one journey, one destination, and one direction up. Aim to go higher with every step. Psalms 24, 3-6. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Selah. Psalms 122. I was glad when they said unto me, Let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is builded as a city that is compact together, whither the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They shall prosper that love thee. Peace be within thy walls, and prosperity within thy palaces. For my brethren and companions' sakes I will now say, Peace be within thee. Because of the house of the Lord our God I will seek thy good. Proverbs 3:6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Philippians 3:14, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Thank you for joining me on Faith in Focus. Remember, these insights are inspired by Jonathan Cahn's The Book of Mysteries. Until next time, may you find strength in the revelation of his love.